Hello. Back to bed vlogging. I feel like trash tonight, and I can't really put my finger on exactly what it is. But I just feel heavy and today was a bit of a roller coaster too. Granted, it was a much more moderate one than yesterday. The peaks weren't as high and the valleys weren't as low. But still. Let it be known that on neither day were the peaks good things happening. Except maybe tonight. Before I felt like trash. I'm gonna sandwich the bad with the good. So I'll lead with some pluses. Shipbreaker is still really zen. And it is genuinely running better now that I've, like, since doing a clean install on my computer. So that's good. I don't know if there were some I know there's not been any major updates. I don't know if there are any little patches, if there's been any performance patches. That's the word I was looking for, performance. Since I last played it a couple of months ago, but, you know, still, it's nice to have that as... And I still think I'll do like a ship. At least one every day. I did 3 today. 2 mackerels and a javelin, and the javelin was really satisfying. It was definitely my smoothest javelin yet. I don't know if I had done 1 before or 2 before, but like 0 incident javelin. And this one was pressurized where the first one wasn't. So that's nice. I also washed the dog today. And I found like a peak way to do that, which is just sit in the shower, dude. Just sit in your tub, which is a shower, and wash him there. And then minimal bending over. He can't really get away from me. It is great. Now we'll plummet into the bad, which will end coming back up to some good. I did apply for Medicaid today at my mom's recommendation. And the pre-screening even outright rejected me. The like really generic questions online, just straight up is like, yeah, nah, you don't qualify. You can still reply if you want to, but we're just gonna go ahead and let you know you don't qualify. Not even you might not qualify, you just straight up, you just don't. It's like, oh, okay, fuck you. So that's a bummer. So at this point, the current medical plan for my lightheaded moments and, you know, getting checked out in general, because I don't think I've been physically looked at since I haven't had a physical doctor's appointment. Like, the last time I had blood work done was early 2017. So like over 4 years ago. And I've been fairly sedentary. Not completely so, but let's just say between February of 2018 and now, more or less, I've not taken very good care of myself, physically or mentally, and I should probably do something about that. And right now, the current plan is wait until I have another episode of lightheadedness and then just go to the emergency room. Because a couple of years ago, when I had the really bad tooth pain, like, don't get me wrong, I've had, two major periods of tooth pain in my life. One back in 2016, where a filling fell out and I just kind of let the tooth rot. And like, that hurt, but for the most part, if I left it alone, it wasn't consistent pain. It was just up, you touched it, sharp pain, followed by dull pain for about 10 or 15 minutes, don't touch it again, you asshole. Then a couple of years ago, I got basically in a tooth that had had a filling to try and repair it, but the tooth just kind of gave up. It caught an infection in the root, like a proper awful infection, and it hurt for like 5 days solid. Like right now, my like comfortable getting ready for bed position, I'm laying on my left side, left arm under a pillow under my head, sort of kind of leaning towards laying on my stomach, but I'm propped up by my body pillow. I couldn't do this because the tooth was the one just behind my canine, top left, right? The pain radiated so far out that like I couldn't touch that cheek. Anything that would, you'd consider left cheek, I couldn't touch it. It would cause, like, it was like somebody was hammering a spike into my skull. To the points where I would, like, spend most of the day using my headlamp to hold an ice pack to my face. I stayed awake just long enough to eat, which was a miserable experience, and would sometimes just sit up for an hour or two. Shower every now and then, but for the most part, I spent that week doped up with Benadryl so I could just sleep through the pain. And then finally, like the antibiotics started to work, and the pain itself started going away, and I ended up having a root canal. Which wasn't that bad, all things considered. You hear that and you think it's going to be this awful experience. But maybe it was because shortly before I'd spent a good 5 or 6 days in constant pain. The mild discomfort for a day or two after having my root canal wasn't anything. It was more like, it was like a bruise, and even then it wasn't consistent like the other pain was. Point being, I went to the emergency room with this pain, and at the time they had me fill out some stuff, and for like a year I was covered in like emergency rooms, I think, or something. So yeah, the plan is wait until I have another lightheaded episode, go to the emergency room, apply for that again, and then hopefully find out what the fuck is wrong with me. Yeah. Anyway, trending back to the upslope, was gonna, I've been tossing around the idea of playing through Persona 4 Golden, but I booted it up today and it ran okay for a while, and it just wasn't quite hooking me. And just when I was on the fence about digging in or not, it crashed. And it was like the third time that it had crashed today. So I figured, that's probably a sign. Another time. And I finally gave in, bit the bullet, and restarted Persona 5 Royal. Which genuinely is in probably my top 3 of all time. Like, just on its own merits, especially but like the base game especially. I've talked about it on here before, but I just played it at such. It was a beacon of light during a very, very dark time, and it just will always have a special place in my heart because of when I played it. All that good shit. Plus, it's just genuinely really, really good. Like, really good. The kinetic menus of Persona 5 are possibly the best GUI I've ever experienced. Like, they're just so wonderful. The battle HUD, the kinetic way the after battle menu is, it's just so good. It's just so good. And plan is go through it and then go right back into Strikers. Which I haven't replayed since it came out. Which I think was last year? God, I don't know. Anyhow, I'm gonna go to sleep now. So, I'll catch you all tomorrow. Good night.